Hi, how you doing? My name's Ed, and this is Dav, and we play in Bury Tomorrow.
I play bass.
And I play guitar. I really like the artwork. I think it's really good, and I think the star has become a symbol of Bury Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's quite sort of, I guess it's become quite iconic amongst our fans. Hence why I draw it on drum skins sometimes that people like to buy for some reason. My favourite thing is, well, it's the first album I played on, so that's my favourite thing about it.
The message of the album is essentially, as a whole, it's a look forward to the future, but with a cautious eye on the world, as it were. Like, I think that it's a lot more optimistic than Cannibal. Cannibal felt very, very bleak, and in places very heavy. I don't mean musically, but topically, to the point where I think it's a difficult album to consume if you're already in a bad place. Whereas I think that as a whole, I would say that some is angrier, but angry in an optimistic sense, in a sense of like, fuck everyone, but we're gonna do this our way. Like, and it's a weird thing to be angry and optimistic, but it kind of is. I think it's a look forward to the future more than anything else. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that sums it up pretty well, I think. I think it's a bit difficult for us to talk about themes so much because we don't write lyrics. So. It was good actually, because we'd already put out 2 songs that we did like the year before, which were sort of like a tester, I guess. But we went into the studio really quickly and did those, like literally within like 2 months after our first show together, wasn't it? So by the time we did the album, and especially by the time the album came out, because that was like another 2 years later, pretty much. I guess we all just felt really comfortable with each other.
Although it was the first album you were on, it felt like you'd been in the band for a considerable time before releasing that.
And these guys were so welcoming for us, and it was just like good energies and stuff. So yeah.
I have 2. My first one is Wrath, and my second one would be Care.
Mine changes quite a lot. I really like how the Carcass King came out, the last song, and I really like Abandon Us, especially since we started playing it live, because it just goes off live. It's just so fun to play. It's not too hard to play, so it's a bit of a bop that we can jump around to a bit and stuff like that. So.
The funniest thing isn't actually very funny at all, but it is a really good fact, is that all of Dan's vocals were recorded in isolation because he had COVID, and he actually recorded them whilst being locked in a room, and we trailed a mic from his room into the studio. So basically all of Dan's vocals on the record were done while he had COVID.
I feel like there's also, I swear there's something that's like in the album that's like funny, and I can't remember what it is, like a fart or something.
I think we've got loads of them everywhere. See if you can find the farts in our songs.
But I can't remember where they are.
We do hide farts in our songs quite a lot. So.
I wish I could be more specific about that.
No, I think it's nice when it's like, where's Wally?
Yeah.
We kind of wrote it like out of COVID, like the major lockdown, but Dan got COVID when we got there. I mean, it wasn't in lockdown that we recorded it. We recorded it like way after, but yeah, Dan got COVID and so had to isolate whilst we were recording vocals.
Yeah, it was like March 2022, so we were like out of all the restrictions and stuff. But yeah, Dan just happened to fall ill whilst he was doing it.
I think just being able to see the reaction to new songs when you're not on the road is really, you get caught up in your own zeitgeist bubble where you don't really know what is popular or what's good or what people like about your band or if people like your band and all sorts of things like that. So I like coming out on the road because it basically lets us see where we're at. It gives us a really good like pin in our career and our trajectory, and I think that's probably my favourite thing about it.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing really. When we don't play shows, because before this tour we hadn't played a show since like October,
Yeah.
and I find that time is just like internet. That's all it is. It's just figures online and comments and is this getting enough views and all that stuff, and it's just it drives you a bit mental. So I feel like when you come out and it's like you see like palpable things like people are coming to shows and selling tickets and people buying merch and us all being together and stuff, I think it's just like that's what it's all about, isn't it? So
Agreed.
yeah.
I like escargot.
Do you?
No, I'm vegetarian, of course I don't. No, I think the best thing the best thing about Paris is that they consume music in a very different way to everyone else. It seems to be very much more intrinsic in the lifestyle and the culture. It's one of the only places where you can go where you can go into a public bathroom and there will still be music playing. Like, it literally seems to be part of everything. And playing in Paris makes you feel like you're playing in a Pixar movie. So I feel like I'm playing to Ratatouille tonight.
I like croissants.
Oh.
Poisson and boisson.
Angleterre.
You said that very Englishly though, didn't you?
Angleterre.
What do you know? What I find the hardest thing about French? Me and you were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? So like you have like in English, I try and be nice and understand and say like rather than saying the Arc de Triomphe, I say the Arc de Triomphe. But in French, it's like that's not how it's said. It's like you kind of like make the word not look like the word. So it's like Arc de Triomphe like that, and it all becomes like this like one single word, and it's almost like you're trying to troll the rest of the world. Where it's like, oh yeah, I know we wrote it that way, but that's not how you say it. So that's probably the best
My
part.
French is terrible.
No.
I did French for a long time at school as well. I just
Do you know
Well,
the
only
only
up
thing
until,
I
like, year
remember from
6.
school? Literally the only thing I remember from school in French.
what?
Où est la bibliothèque?
Where's the library?
Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing I know.
Où est la bibliothèque?
Yeah. I do actually. Où est la bibliothèque?
I guess just
Moshard.
I was gonna say I love you, but I can't even remember how to say that. J'adore.
Je t'aime.
J'adore.
It's je t'aime.
Je t'aime.